You're good.
No, no, go. Okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay.
Okay, and we are live. So,
Hi.
hey man, welcome to episode 207 of An American Werewolf in New Jersey. I am the American Werewolf. Here with me today, out there in Tokyo or Yokohama. Are you in Yokohama?
Yes, 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 yes,
Yokohama,
yes.
Yokohama, Japan, not far, just outside of Tokyo. I have a screenwriter and film director, Toshi Asaka. And
Hi, how are you?
I'm glad you're here. This is your third time on the show, and it's always a pleasure to have you on because when you're on, you have a new project. And so there's always new stuff to talk about. I had you on for the Ronins, I had you on for the Samurai, and now for Koto, the Woman Samurai, which I just watched today. And I enjoyed it very much. Congratulations on another fantastic project. You specialize in samurai films, and you do a very good job.
Okay. Hi, how are you? Thank you very much for watching the movie. You know, that's like my fourth samurai movie, and I hope you any people who watched it enjoyed it. Did you?
Yeah, I should mention that Koto, the Woman Samurai, is available on Amazon Prime. Now, the first time I had you on, it was for the Ronins, and unfortunately, I didn't have time to watch the film, and I was embarrassed about that. And then I had you on
Nope.
again for the Samurai, and you were very gracious about it. You were very gracious. And I had you on again for the Samurai, and I remember renting the Samurai, and I liked it so much, I went right back and bought it. So I bought that and the Ronins. And then this time, there wasn't even a question. I just bought Koto because, I mean, why wouldn't you own it if you could? Um, what you were here last time. Talk to me about what your inspiration was for doing something that was um, a true story.
Oh, first of all, I was getting tired of just shooting men samurai. I wanted to make some like a women as a strong
Yes, yes,
samurai, and
yes.
I was
Okay, yeah.
because otherwise, when you see the samurai movie, it's always men fighting against men. Maybe sometimes female, but it's not really samurai. You know, maybe sometimes the female ninja, or some like royal girls. But I just found that article about her. Oh, this is very interesting story because there. She was actually an actual person who existed in the end of the samurai period. So
Yes.
I wanted to make I wanted to make this woman's movie. So that was my motivation, and then that was and that was my idea actually before even I start shooting the samurai. And so I was actually it's even before there's one the movie called Adauchi. That's the one before Samurai, and I was casting the girl. Um, the I was it was a funny story about it. I think I told you previous this before, but I was looking for like the girl who could be looking around like a 15 to 20 years old girl. Then the first person who and entered my audition was the sensei.
Oh,
He's like a
okay.
56 years old man. So he just
Oh, yeah,
applied
yeah,
my
you did tell
audition.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
I think I
remember that.
told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you. And then the lady who played the Koto, she also calm, you know. And I immediately imagined, oh, she could be Koto. She could be my girl samurai. So I told her, well, I'm not gonna use you in this movie, but I'd like to keep the connection because I have an idea about the women samurai. And so would you be interested in? So she said, yes, of course. So then after that, that was the last July, I think. Then so after the movie shooting, we shoot the samurai, and that was like actually that was like first her movie. So I put her as like the female owner of the tea shop, and actually the bar. So
Yeah.
that was like a small move, but also after as soon as we finished audition, beside the other project, I start training her for 1 year. So
Oh,
because she never
okay.
played any sword fighting, but she has to play the women's sword master.
Yes.
So we spent whole 1 year to train her. You know.
I was going to ask you about that. The choreography was
Hmm?
it was the best I've seen out of all the films.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah. I mean,
just.
I've noticed the progression in the quality of because you and I have talked before, and we are both
Uh-huh,
students of Budo.
uh-huh,
So,
uh-huh,
I know a little bit. I'll wait for you. You
uh-huh.
okay?
Yeah, I'm just connecting my battery.
Charge it?
I don't want
Okay.
I don't want my camera to die while we are doing. But I don't have
But
like a stand for it. Android puts the connection on the bottom, and
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. It's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the
I'm so
ass.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Uh,
I think you can auto
are we
rotate.
okay? Oh, can we?
Your I think there's an
Nope.
auto rotate. You should be able to scroll down. No, now you're sideways.
Yeah, I know. It's, as long as it's okay, it's okay
That's
with
okay.
you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Let me
So
just hold on. Sorry.
that's okay. That's okay. Take your time.
Take. Let me. Ah.
You look beautiful. Don't worry about it. All right.
I should buy some stuff. Let's see. Let me buy maybe this. Okay. I think
Okay,
I'm
you're good. You're good.
okay. I'm good. Mm,
Okay. 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 Okay.
mm,
So, like
mm.
I was saying, I've noticed a real the quality of the choreography. Really, really good. Uh,
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
the foot movement.
Mhm,
And yeah, I mean the kenjutsu, the
mhm,
sword play, good
mhm,
stuff. Very, very good stuff. She looks like she is a trained sword fighter.
mhm,
You did a very good job with her. Congratulations on that.
mhm. Yeah, and also because she practiced some like a special kenjutsu that's called Hoshinryu, which is very very rare. No, actually, no. So not I didn't want to make some film just because I read some article, and put us in the star. So I
Right,
just decided to visit actually there's a small organization that actually who they teach or they actually keep the traditional sword fighting style that Koto play.
right,
So
right,
we went there. We went there and ask them, explain about the Koto's film. We are trying to make a movie for the Koto, and they told me all the actual soul style fighting that she used. So it's not just like oh, because I like her because I read this her in the history, but we actually went there and talk about and studied about soul fighting. Also, we travel all the, you know, actually her brother's descendants are still live there. So actually, her brother is also in the film.
right.
So we went there. So we actually read actually his diary.
Oh, really?
Yeah, diary and like a special school certificate for the
Oh,
soul fighting and all the record and
wow.
also an actual written document about Koto. So and also we check out their family graves. Every
I
Japanese
saw some
family
of the
have
photos. Yeah.
yeah, every Japanese family have their own crest, the family symbol. So we checked that when I saw the grave. Oh, that's the symbol. That's why on the forehead of the plate she has the
Right.
mark. So we actually follow not just the story but actual history and actual sword style fighting style to put that. So that's another effort that we did for that movie. Mm.
So, what was the family's reaction? Koto's,
Mm.
and her brothers,
Mm.
and these people living today. Were
Mm.
they open to the idea of you doing the film about Koto
Yeah,
and her brother?
they're pretty much open about it. They're
Okay,
actually very very happy about it.
okay.
Mm.
That's a good thing, and that's a strong endorsement.
Mm.
That's a good feeling to have that kind of support. Where were they located? Where is the
It's
family today?
today actually they live still in the same place.
Okay,
When yeah, and they're located in Gunma Prefecture.
okay,
Gunma Prefecture is about like 100 miles from north to Tokyo.
okay.
So there's Japan here, and Tokyo is down on the Pacific Ocean side, and
Right.
it's almost the opposite side, but not that far. It's
Okay,
mm,
okay.
it's located in the mountain. So,
That's impressive, actually. I mean, that's
mhm,
and especially to take her.
mhm.
What was the actress's the woman who played Koto? What
Mhm.
was her reaction? Was she overwhelmed, or was she?
Yes, she,
Was
she
she
she was she was very happy about playing Koto, and she tried her. She was still saying, gee, I could do better. She was not really completely satisfying about how how thought fighting. But I said that's okay. You're good. You did a best. For just in one year.
Yeah,
Because 1 year before she never even had a sword. So.
right, and
Mhm.
it's a lifetime.
Mhm.
It's a lifetime to train. So
Mhm.
it's that's a long time.
Mhm.
So the story basically takes off with this. Who Tell me the name of the actress, please, because
Her name is Mami.
Mommy, that's right. Yeah. Okay, that's that. I've never heard a Japanese
Mhm.
name, Mommy, before, but okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
And she is playing Koto,
Yes.
who is the daughter of a very strong samurai. Her and her brother are very fierce fighters, but of course,
Mhm.
this is the mid 1860s.
Mhm.
The war is about to begin
Mhm.
because I
Yes.
guess about 10 years before this, the port of Japan has been forced open. And
Yes.
so it's been flooded with the entire world because for
Mhm.
centuries before
Mhm.
that,
Mhm.
Japan was kind of a closed society.
Yes.
And so then the port got forced open, and the whole world just rushed in there to try to make money
Mhm.
and make, certain Japanese people money, I guess,
Mhm.
and make them rich.
Mhm.
And so this idea comes that Japan is going to be changing.
Mhm.
But I think that correct me if I'm wrong, there's opposition to that because some people either don't want change
Mhm.
or they think it is changing too quickly.
Mhm.
Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct. It's the same as today. It's always talking about you know right and left, conservative and progressive.
Liberal.
Or like it's not the same as liberal, but it's usually there's a right wing and left wing idea. Now, of course, the old idea is try to keep the shogun samurai culture, and the new idea is let's first let's look at worldwide more. So let Japan is the time to change. So there's a big fighting between we should keep it or we should change it. That's the period of the late 17th century. No, it's late 19th century.
19th century. Yeah. Now in America, we get our samurai films spoon fed to us, because like I love Japanese samurai films. But we also have some Americanized ones like The Last Samurai, which was basically about that through the eyes of an American.
Yes.
And that was what that entire film was about. But here you're talking about one person specifically. And I thought about this when I was watching this. She must have been incredibly tough, like the real Koto. She must have been like a piece of iron. I mean, because it starts out where these men come to the dojo
Mhm.
Pretending that they want to train. Really, they're testing out to see if
Mhm.
these are strong people because they want them to come to the shogun's side as the samurai.
Mhm.
And that one guy, she just takes him right out.
Mhm.
I had he been in your movies before? Because he was kind of comic. I mean, he was,
Actually, that's like my second time with with me in my movie, you
okay.
know. But he never did any acting before. That's why his natural reaction was good, you know.
Yeah. That eye, when his eyes are all,
Yeah, yeah,
spinning,
yeah, yeah,
like that was some of
yeah.
the best I've seen for a person who looks like they've
I
been
know,
stupid.
I know. That's
You
my
know,
favorite scene too.
yeah, because he's not acting. He's just like, what the hell just happened to me? This kind of stuff. Um, so they end up receiving the invitation, but of course they find out that Koto is, and that's part of the problem. Koto is a woman,
Mhm.
and a woman cannot be a samurai,
Mhm.
but she is so strong that
Mhm.
they make an exception in her case.
Mhm.
But I guess, and so she comes to Edo.
Mhm. Yeah.
Is it in Edo? Yeah, the opportunities are in Edo.
Mhm.
I noticed right away, like you said before, you have your regulars now,
Mhm.
your regular
Yeah.
actors, people I
Yeah.
recognize from the
Yeah.
Samurai, from the
Yeah. Yeah.
Ronin, and these
Mhm.
sorts of things.
Mhm.
So, I mean, is it easy? You just let them know in advance, hey, I've got something, and they're like, okay, I'm there.
Oh, actually, when we are shooting, she was always in there too. So she was already a part of the of my regulars. So anyway, so when we try to practice sword fighting, she was always there. Even though when we are shooting samurai movies, so we always train together. So.
Okay. Um, you think about it, and I don't know the answer to this. I mean, you look, what is it, 1860s?
Mhm.
So mid to late
Mhm.
19th century.
Mhm.
And Japan is in an era of, would you call it peace before the war, the Boshin War, before the port got opened?
Mhm.
Japan is kind of in an era of peace, right?
Yeah, we pretty much, kind of closed our border. We except only Dutch and China. So Japan was very, very the culture and society are very, very close, and even Dutch people only could get out one town one port town. So entire Japan never saw any foreigners, so any other cultures. So Japan was very, very close of almost like 250 years.
Okay.
Then, of course, the first shogun, he did very good job, so that he made the system that works for the shogun, and we actually kept about 250 years in his and peace, which is very rare. We didn't have any war for outside or inside.
Right.
But still 250 years was way too long to keep the one system, because world is changing, people is changing. So then all of a sudden, United States come and every Russians, England. So Japan have to, we can't do just by ourselves, because world is changing. World, including Japan, is changing. We can't just stand here and wait. So that was the very, very difficult moment, for make up any decision, because nobody knows the answer. What's gonna
And
be good for Japan? Yeah.
yeah,
So
it
everything is
must
challenging it. Mm,
it must have
mm,
been very threatening to people that were in
mm,
power,
mm.
because
Yes.
suddenly there's all these new things that you don't
Mhm,
understand,
mhm,
and so is my position threatened here?
mhm,
Am I going to remain in place where I
mhm,
am? So you could see how this would cause a
mhm,
lot of difficulties,
mhm,
and a war that went on for quite a long time.
mhm, mhm,
um, but they go to Edo,
mhm.
and I remember you had the actor from the Samurai.
Yes.
And this time he's got a very small role.
Yes.
He unfortunately he's another one who just takes a beating.
Yes.
Um, it's very funny.
Mhm,
It's good. It's good physical comedy,
mhm,
because again, there is more sword play this time
mhm,
than Boken play. But there
mhm,
is some Boken play in the very beginning, probably the
mhm,
first half of the film, as you see a lot of training sequences, and as
mhm,
Koto works to establish herself.
Mhm.
But she also, let me tell me if I'm wrong here. She decides to identify as a man to avoid any difficulties from anyone.
Yes. Mhm.
That is
Mhm.
correct.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, because if she is challenged as a woman, that could be a problem. But if she just dresses like a man, and they go through that whole sequence where she has to learn to sit like a man,
Mhm.
um, then no one's really going to give it a second look,
Mhm.
because she's not, dressed like a woman,
Mhm.
this, that, or the
Mhm.
other. Um, all of this was information that you got from the family.
Yeah, family, and also there's some like a diary that it's like it's more like self book written by her brother. At around the last pages, and there's a couple pages talking about his sister Koto. So it's all based on the diary from her brother.
It's
And
just
you know,
go ahead.
and it's not much about the you know her detailed story about, but she talks about how she joined, she beat, in Edo. She was actually having a problem because she was tall, very tall. That also another reason that I pick her. Pick
Okay.
Mami as Koto. Koto was a very tall guy. Let's say it's in Japanese. Actual Koto is over 170 centimeters high, which is how
Oh,
many
that is.
inches?
That's about 6 feet.
6 feet, not 6 feet. That's 6 feet. No,
Five,
five.
5'10", 5'8", 5'9".
No, it's more. It's 5'6", I think. But still
Okay.
tall, very tall, very tall. Koto was tall, Mami was tall, so that was another reason. And because she's women, her face is very very sharp and good looking guy,
Yeah.
good looking guy. So in his diary, Koto was complaining about even though and act like men, dress like men, but still and then guys are now chasing me. I
Yeah.
said yes, that she was complaining. Yes, it's working, but it's not. I'm still not a woman. So sometimes one lady was trying to, what do you say? When he was sleeping, that was happening in Japan all the time. The guy was came, tried to make something happen. And she was saying,
Yeah.
well, I look like a man, but I'm not a man. And she didn't trust. And the guy didn't trust. So Koto have to show that she has to be naked
Yeah.
to convince her that she's a woman. So
Woman.
that kind of episode was in there.
That's very. It's a very messy thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of a messy thing, but she is dedicated to wanting to train.
Mm-hmm.
That is like her only focus. She's not
Yes, yes,
interested
yes.
in marriage. She's not
Mm-hmm.
interested in children or
Mm-hmm.
raising a family. She wants to be a samurai.
Yes.
And there's an interesting. Well, let me branch off for a second.
Mm-hmm.
How long did this take to film?
Oh, a month.
30 days.
In days count 8 days shooting. 8 days shooting.
8 days.
8 days shooting. So what happened is Mommy have to leave Japan. Now she's living in Canada. Her flight day was August 1st. So we really finished that film by the end of the July. So we start shooting from end of June on the weekend, and we spend all weekend and some of the weekdays. So it's about 8, like small base, small shooting. Maybe 10 days of shooting. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
And where did you film this time? Is it the same locations?
Mostly the same, except a couple. I know. Let's say only one new place I used was the share room. You know,
Oh
Koto
yeah.
and
Okay.
his
Okay.
brother. and the Nakajima's Goro's room. That was the only new place I used. That actually the actual hotel, you know,
Oh, really?
actual hotel. That's actual
Okay.
hotel. So I used them. You know,
Okay.
I
Okay.
used. That was the only place new. Everything else is, pretty much it appears in any of my previous movies.
I did not see. I did not see Yuko this time. I did not see Ellie.
Oh, she was so vivid because she changed the job,
Okay,
and that
that
was
sounds familiar.
she was that was like after like a month of her new job, and the summertime she maybe she works for the entertainment business like dance performing, any event show. So the July and August is very very busy for her, so she couldn't join. Yeah.
And so, what kind of budget did you have?
This time I spent maybe like less than
Oh
$2,000.
my God, two
Oh,
thousand.
actually,
Yeah,
no. Actually, today's rate is very different. Maybe 1,000 or so.
$1,000. Wow,
Yes, of
very.
course. I mean, of course, guarantee for the actors myself is it's always, let's say, let's make a movie with let's make a money with the movie, then we share. So we all volunteer. You know,
Okay.
but most of the cost is like the transportation fee, some of the meals, and some location fees. That's all.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. It's fantastic. We watch over here all of
Mhm.
these big hundreds of millions of dollars movies, and they suck. You're making a good movie for $1,000.
Mhm.
I think. Oh, here this weekend, the new Godzilla, the Gojira movie is coming.
Oh
Minus
yes.
one,
Mhm.
and everyone is amazed and saying how good it is.
Mhm.
And it's made for like $15 million, which is like nothing over here.
Yeah,
And
yeah. For the movie, yes, it's
yeah,
like.
and like people are spending 250, $300 million for these shitty movies, but over in Japan,
Mhm.
very little money
Mhm.
and much better quality. Much
Mhm.
better quality.
Mhm.
Very impressive.
Yeah, and I wish I could have a little bit more money so I could hire extras. That's only I wish,
For for background, yeah.
But for background, that's the only thing. But well, what I got is what I got.
Right.
So I
Right.
didn't have money, so that then I have to accept that I whatever I can do. So.
Right. One of the characters that I recognized, of course, was the hold on a second. I gotta drop this phone call. Okay, was the wife of the sensei from the samurai.
Yeah.
Here,
Yes.
she plays a much more prominent role
Yes.
as the wife of a samurai, but she's kind of a spy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
she,
Yes.
she,
Mhm.
she brings forth an interesting point to Koto, which
Yes.
is that the world she is defending is the world
Mhm.
that doesn't allow her to be who she actually is.
Yes. Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I thought that was an interesting argument because the woman was speaking the truth.
Yes.
She
Yes.
was, a lot of times when you see these movies, there's morality to it.
Mhm.
So there's a good and a bad and a good and an
Mhm.
evil. But I
Mhm.
didn't sense that she was evil. She was just on, like you said, the
Mhm.
progressive or the conservative.
Mhm.
And so she was speaking truth to her.
Yes. Mhm.
Was this a character that you added just for context, or was this an actual encounter that she had?
No, it's actually that's my original character. That's my added the character. I mean, the Shimazu and Satsuma is the actual domain.
Right.
So the family does exist. Their family did attacked by the force, the Koto's force. That's history. But the wife is actually the fake person. When I decided to make this movie, the one biggest problem or issue is what is the Koto's changing. When you see the diary, there's many the comic book or like novels or even like a TV show talking about the Koto, but they always talk about how she was strong, how she was fighting, then blah blah blah, happy end. That's the story, There's no
Gotcha.
conflict inside of her. So
Yeah.
I want to make some story about the Koto, but how she decided to be a man, you know, why she have to act like a man, and I need to sometimes she have, you know, realize that, like, you know, what she is fighting is for is actually against her. That's like a
Yeah.
conflict. Yeah. So I wanted to bring that subject to her, because if the world is changing, because she wanted to be a samurai so bad, that's why she have to be a man. But because of the samurai culture, she have to be a man. That's why
Right.
she can do
Right.
the. So the more she trying to be a strong samurai is like more she's protecting something against her.
Right. Right.
So then,
Like, go ahead.
yeah, then lady, Satsuma, she actually, contacted with the British people, tried to be a new war. So, you were wrong. You're fighting against, something that you are, fighting for. So that's
Yeah.
why there's like a big, you know. So it's like it's not like she is not like last boss. She is also like, like mentally rival, not just a
Yeah.
physical rival.
Yeah, yeah. I
Mhm,
mean, she
mhm,
tells her,
mhm,
I don't want to fight you. Basically,
mhm, mhm,
I'll see you in the new world.
mhm,
I think she had a sense that they had already lost. That the
mhm,
future was going to win, not the
mhm,
past.
mhm,
Which is, almost, which is always the truth.
mhm.
She
So,
was,
by the by the way, the wife, her name is Kaori. Kaori.
okay.
She we also learn, her soul style as well.
Wait, I'll
They
say
was
this
called,
again.
yeah, no, and in the Satsuma side, the enemy side, they have a special sword fighting style called Jugenryu, which is like like
Oh,
this,
I
and
saw that. It was very close. Yeah,
yeah. That was very very special fighting style, which is very famous sword style as well. You know, they have the family of the founder in the Satsuma. They keep same tradition as well. So one of the actor who played Tamaki, the funny boss, the who played the funny boss, remember, in the
yeah,
samurai.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, he learned that sword fighting style in Satsuma, which is Kagoshima Prefecture today, which is very very far side of South Island. So we asked him to train the girl Kaori to learn how to fight the sword.
So, do you have? I mean, with these actors now that you have so often, are
Mhm.
they just training now? Are they just training all the time? Has it become like a part of their lives, or
Oh, actually, right now it's not. When I make a call, then they will assemble, then start practicing. In the meantime, like this, it's everybody just trained by themselves.
okay? Hold
Mm.
on a second. We got a comment here, and it's Marty over at the Trash Picture Show. Marty's in Dublin, Ireland, and
Mm.
he said, "Has Toshi seen the amazing animated series on Netflix called The Blue-Eyed Samurai?"
Blue Eye Samurai. No, I never had.
I
Mm,
haven't seen it yet either. I think
mm,
it's an English language samurai.
mm.
There's also a new one on there with Toshiro Mifune. It's like a Musashi. I think it's called Onimusha. And
Musashi. Mm,
yeah, on Netflix. I haven't seen. I
mm.
want to check it out. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But there's some decent animated stuff going on out there.
Yeah, actually, in anime, there are lots of interesting samurai movie and samurai cartoons. Like, I love the Afro Samurai. Do you know Afro Samurai?
Yeah, yeah, sure,
Mhm.
sure.
I
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's very very different story, but I like the idea. It's right now I'm thinking about maybe next movie because I play my sword. I have this couple students in the United States who also practice, my sword style. And I have lots of friends, in TikTok, and everybody wants to be in my movie.
What are you doing on TikTok? Stop that.
No, I just sometimes I advertise my movie, like behind the
No, I
scene
understand. I
or like
understand.
sword fighting. Or and also I put my sword fighting, sword practicing videos on the TikTok, and everybody said, you know, they want to be in my film, but of course they're not 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 Japanese people, But even in Koto, I put remember the first tall guy? He's half black, half Japanese.
Okay,
So, but he
okay.
does he do look like black African American people. But actually, he's not American, so black people. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
so
yeah. So,
and not, it didn't bother me at all. For me, it's where there's a black person showed up, big tall guy fight. So I think it's very acceptable. Let's say I put some white people, Asian people, or like black people. Put all who the soul fighters in my movie. Not talk don't never talk about why they're here. It's just a situation, the samurai. It doesn't matter race, doesn't matter how it's appear. So that might be interesting to make some other project.
you have been making movies to expose people outside of Japan to
Yes,
Japanese
yes.
culture and the samurai films, which is
Mhm,
why all of
mhm,
your films are in English language.
yes.
Because I've asked you about that before. I'm like, why not just make them in Japanese language? This sort of thing. And you're like, no, I want people outside to not have to struggle, or whatever, not I want to do it in English so it's easier for them to watch. So if you were to add anybody you want, yeah, you can make a modern film with swords, I imagine, some kind of just crazy action movie. Not like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
Ronins.
yeah.
Not like the Ronins. That was too crazy. That was too crazy.
Actually, I might make another the learning kind of film. Maybe that was my challenge. So now I can do a little bit better with organizing more
You,
people
you
and
you could
making.
always do some sort of shinobi film or
Mhm.
shinobi no mano, something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
in
Mhm,
modern times, or a
mhm,
yakuza film or something like
mhm,
that.
mhm, mhm,
It should be okay. Do
mhm,
whatever you want, man. It's your
mhm,
creative vision. You
mhm,
have to do what comes
mhm,
out of you.
mhm. Oh, I'd like to just talk a little bit more about the Koto.
Go right ahead.
It, this time I did really play some role because they're the last person who fight against the Koto. Of course, Koto fight with the wife first, but she ran away, and she was saying, let's meet again in a new world. That was another cube. So she was very tough, but she was facing now she was facing that there's another woman also good as she is.
Yeah,
That was one surprise, and she left because usually samurai never run away. But she
yeah.
left because. Mhm, mhm.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I was thinking she was just some sort of spy.
Yeah, yes,
Almost
yes,
taking
yeah.
on like a ninja kind of kunoichi
Mhm,
kind of
mhm,
thing going on there. And okay, I don't have to fight. I just have to survive
mhm,
and not lose and get back.
mhm.
That's my mission. My
Yes.
mission is not to die here. It's to
Yes.
to probe the
Mhm,
defenses and check
mhm,
things out and then get back and report. I'm not here to fight to the death. I'm not on a suicide mission.
mhm,
So I
mhm.
thought that was very clever.
Yeah, yes, yes. Actually, that was also the actual. It's based on the history, because Satsuma, want Shogun to attack them, like I said in the story. So Satsuma was trying to. It's almost
Provoke
like
them.
make it a mess, and so that they need now they had a reason to go against the Shogun. So that was all set. So as her part is done, and their family's part is done. So that's why she doesn't have to die there because
Right.
she's facing. She's looking at more future, not the
Yeah.
here. Then after that, you know, I I just stand her against, Koto, stand against Koto, and I couldn't find any actors who can play a strong samurai. So that's why I had to play that one
Okay.
because this is also another truth, about the history and not the history truth about even though she is good or best, it's very, very difficult to beat the man, especially
Right.
the good man.
Right.
So that's I wanted to also show that fact and try to show that to her. She was good, best, but remember, even like it's tough for 2 against 1,
Right.
and she couldn't beat, and she got upset, and she got like a 200% potential. She got because of she got anger, but she couldn't win. And also remember, she cut his left leg, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's based on the history. That's truth. So
Yeah.
so
Because I
that.
mean, go ahead.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
And
Go
so
ahead.
that's so all system in that's like now she fights. She lost, not just lost because I said I don't kill women. You know,
Right.
so it's like all the things that she was facing. It's all there's a fact. That still she got survive because the samurai thinks samurai culture. You know,
Right.
so that's like that all conflict of that. Her against that. You know.
That must have been very difficult for her to accept.
Yes.
That at the end of the day, she is not the
Mhm.
best.
Yes.
Um, she is a woman,
Mhm.
and her opponents recognize her as such.
Mhm.
So she does not lose her life
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
of the one thing she doesn't want to admit.
Mhm. And also
And
like when the god and the her friend Goro died, that's like another. That's more like my martial arts philosophy or the Buddha philosophy that don't die.
right, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I it's not the competing against one to the other, just by fighting and in actual battlefield, whoever survived is always the strongest, So
right.
that was the last advice to her. So whatever happened, she have to make, she have to survive.
Yeah.
That was like a last lesson that for her. So that was also like something that I wanted to talk about the story.
Well,
Surviving is the most important thing. Mm.
it's also, and I like that you touched on this too. Go back a little bit. That not
Mm.
everybody is her enemy.
Yes, yes, yes.
Like she treats everybody like dirt. She just like calls them cowards and weak, and they're just like, we're your friends. Like, why are you talking to us like this? You know. And so I like that scene where she goes into the game room and she has to ask for help. I don't know how to play this game. Can someone teach me? And people are like, yeah, sure, no problem. She allows herself to be
Yeah.
on an equal footing with people.
Yes.
Those are small points
Mhm.
that could easily have been overlooked.
Mhm.
But you touched on them, and they add a lot more to the story. They add
Yes, yes. Mhm.
depth to the character.
Mhm.
So good job, very good job.
Thank you. I'm happy to this about. Yeah, it's for me. It's the story of the movie. It's always the development of the character, main character. How she started, how she experienced, now how she changed, and how she progressed herself. To the next step. So that's like before that she was trying to be strong, become like upset, mad, attacking everybody. Now she have to face about it. No, samurai is not you are friends is a friend, they're not enemy. So she have to start changing. So it's all about all about how she changed her life and thinking. That's how end up is her last line, why? Because remember, and the wife told her that you are fighting, for against whatever she against for her. So
Right,
she's protecting that attacking. So she told her truth that now she has to think why now she has to be a samurai. So at the end she decided, well, solo is my life,
right,
So it doesn't matter samurai or not. That's how she ended up with the story and decided, there's no more samurai in this world. Actually, that's true because samurai period was over. So
right.
that's contains two words. There's no more samurai. For me, means like in society there's no more samurai, and also she said no more strong samurai in this world anymore. Nobody is not pursuing the sword. anymore because the culture changed. Japan changed. Nobody's thinking about but that's how she decided. So she wanted to be a samurai till the end. That's why that's the line. Is the famous line is the actual her line. Whoever beats, I will only marry to the guy whoever beats me. That's her line.
Right.
So,
And
so
there's
that's
not going to be
compared.
any fights. Yeah.
Mhm.
She's
And
cool.
my coup is a little bit, when she said that, and I show her leg, because the history a little bit go over more. And after the Satsuma attack, they actually fought another 8 years, and there's a big siege at the one northern castle, and she was fought there for another 8 years. Of course, the Satsuma surrounded the castle. So did she beat the guy at that time or not? So
That's a good
I
question.
didn't make it. Yeah, I didn't make any answer yet. But she
I think
said there's no more strong samurai, and she looked at her, the scar.
that's an
So
interesting point.
yeah, so
And
maybe she beat him later or
I,
not.
I, I think that sometimes films are better if you leave some questions unanswered.
Yes, yes.
So it's open to interpretation. You don't have
Mhm,
to answer everything. You don't have to close every door. That sort of
mhm,
thing.
mhm.
Um, it must have been very difficult because suddenly all these people who had lived this life for centuries, that way of life had closed.
Mhm.
It must have been a fascinating time, but I imagine it must have been very hard because you see, after the war, I guess a lot of people just went home.
Yes.
They fought, they won the war, they lost. I
Mhm.
guess, if you lost, then I guess you went home. But
More, yeah,
what were you supposed to do? Find a new profession, a new career?
that's actually, what happened is that's what's called Boshin War. That was the last battle between samurais. Then the Boshin War was the new government uh, won, and they just defeat the shogunate. The shogunate over. But what happened after that? The Satsuma people actually built a new government, bring the emperor. The, we made like another country, like there's emperor, and there's another same as today's. There's another ministries, and not the president but prime minister and stuff. We made a
A new
modern,
government.
yeah. But about like 10 years ago, they're still fighting as a samurai. Now they can change it. Now they change the whole tax rule and everything now because people who fought for the government now got upset because they thought they became more high rank samurai or like any reward from the government. But after the war, new government said, okay, the war is over. There's no more samurai. There's no more samurai rules. We don't pay you. Go home. Bye. That happened.
Oh,
They're all samurais upset about the new government. Then we had another war. So new government against the rest of the samurai.
oh
After
God.
so that was the messy history point. Then, of course, the samurai lost because the new government already accepted lots of guns,
Yeah.
cannons.
Yeah.
The weaponry is already new besides samurai. So of course, samurai couldn't win. After that, you know, they changed a little bit. You know, like they put the shogun and the premiers, the castle lords as like what is say governor of each domains, and they kind of support the finance. So all the samurai now become like a public workers. So they changed the rule. Okay, samurai is upset. I'm sorry that we ignore too much about it. So new government kind of changed the rule to create that all samurais also become acceptable. In that period, because like before the samurai has to be a warrior, now they have to do some office work. Many samurai decide, okay, my life of kata and the sword is over. That's how they change it. No.
Yeah, you would have to make a new level for
Yes,
all
yes,
these
yes.
people who suddenly have nothing to do. That's going to be
Yeah.
nothing but trouble.
Mm,
So all these people with swords have nothing to do. Oh,
mm,
okay, that's a bad idea. It
mm,
must have been very crazy. I mean, when you think about it now,
mm,
I mean, all these wars being fought hand to hand, basically.
mm, mm.
They're just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But
It
that's
is. Mm,
it.
mm,
We look at them now and we're like, oh, it's a great movie or great action or
mm,
great story. But I mean, it
mm.
just must have been insane.
I'm sure it was in that time, but because you know, cutting, killing people with katana, you can't do if you have a normal mind, not mind. Has to
Yeah,
be crazy. You have to make yourself crazy to cut somebody. Some people.
yeah.
And that was a very very crazy moment. Yes, that was because yes, we did have like a warrior like a Musashi, exist in about like 400 years ago. That was they were killing each other. When when in each soldiers go fighting, you get injured, you just pull back.
Right.
So it's just the purpose is not killing. Purpose is not make them injured so that they leave to
Yeah.
win. That was the war period about the 16th century. But this time they really try to kill each other without any armors. That
No,
was
I mean it's just
yeah,
it's absolutely insane. Absolutely
yeah.
insane.
I think it was very crazy.
Yeah, yeah. My God, you couldn't think of something like that today. Anywhere that you would consider sane. The people in the parts of the world that are still using swords,
Mhm.
the world just calls those places crazy, just crazy places.
And those people who survived in that war actually who live around many late ages, like even Koto died in the 1917, so which is it's becoming like 20th
Yeah,
century. It's very world is very changing, Sometimes some people, some samurai who live very long and maybe around like even like just before the World War II.
yeah,
So which means and many samurai did survive those, and they are saying late like say famous the sword master Saito Hajime, who is the commander of Shinsengumi, who is very famous the samurai and around the end of the Edo period. He was like one best star fighting. He killed many people in the Shinsengumi. Later, actually, I'm talking about Naraku. Later, in late his age, he was having his grandson, went to the movie theater, watched black and white film, and he was talking to his grandson, where his boss and his other commander, who were just killing with the sword fighting in the young ages, and they died for their country, or but they died for their what they believe. If they could survive another 50 years, they could never imagine that watching the film with grandson. Of
yeah.
course, the samurai periods, there's no film or any even idea about the film. So
Do
that was
you?
like many. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
No, no, no. Go, go, go. Please finish what you were saying.
No, I mean many samurai, even Koto, when she was just fighting and sword was best, never think about the 50 years later what's gonna
Yeah,
happen, in Japan.
yeah.
So that was very, very also kind of interesting thing. How I was wondering how they think about the modern world at the time, when look back about the samurai period, the killing each other.
I don't know. Everybody looks back. I don't know. It seems that everybody looks back and says that the past is better.
Mhm,
Oh,
mhm,
this new generation is, crazy and this is no
mhm,
good and this, that, or the other.
mhm,
Probably no different. These people are soft,
mhm,
this kind of thing, that kind of thing.
mhm,
It's an interesting question though.
mhm,
Here, do you as a director, as a filmmaker, as a fan, do
mhm.
you still watch samurai films, or
Of
are
course
you
I do.
just like Okay, because I was going to say, maybe you're like, okay, I don't want anything else to influence my thought now. I just want to stick with. What kind of films do you? Are you watching more modern things? Do you go with the classics?
For the samurai movies, I go for more like classic.
Okay,
Of course, I like
Kurosawa.
I like movies, the modern and the modern movies, yes. But for just the samurai movie, I pretty much watch classic, not just the movie. Sometimes TV show, very
Okay,
classic TV shows, which I can see in the YouTube right now. So I just
okay,
watch some very very like a 50, like a 50 years old classic TV
okay,
show or film. That's what I watch.
okay,
Mm,
okay.
mm, mm,
We should. We were talked about this before, but we should cover a movie sometime. We should pick a
mm,
movie and
mm.
just talk about it, like watch
Yeah,
it,
sure.
and then come on the show and review it. We'd have to find one that we could agree on, and we
Mm.
could both access. So
Yeah, yeah,
maybe
yeah, yeah.
an old classic that is easy to find. But I
Yeah,
mean,
maybe we can start with the very common subject like in a Kurosawa film.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
everybody knows. If we go too maniac or too unpopular style, then nobody understands. So maybe we can start with the.
You could start with
Yeah.
that. Sometimes I don't mind doing that because I want to talk about the things that nobody else is talking about.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
It's
yeah. I
like
like that
everybody's
too.
talking about this. Let's talk about this.
Mhm,
There are even some some more not like 30 years old now. So I don't know if
mhm,
that's considered modern,
mhm.
but like like the Twilight Samurai.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
oh, I love that. I love that movie. I love that movie. Or like when the last sword is drawn, or something like
Mhm,
that.
mhm,
That would be fun. That would be fun to cover.
mhm,
All right, so we'll have to do that before you. No, wait. Okay.
mhm.
Uh, what are you? I mean, are you on hiatus now? Because we weren't able to put this together. This movie's been out for a little bit, and unfortunately, because my work schedule was so bad, I wasn't
Mhm.
able to have you on, and I apologize about that. But it's been a little bit. Are you working on something else now?
Oh, right now I have idea. I have three samurai story idea.
Of course you do.
Uh, and two are just an idea, and one is I already finished writing a script, which is talking about the black samurai.
Okay.
Now I got the black actor, so maybe next year that's gonna be another project for me.
Okay.
Um, I'm kind of you know less resting. I'm trying to charging my energy to create the film because
Sure.
I
Sure.
create the film within 1 month, but I spend whole energy to create. I wanted to
Yeah.
do something new, but like yourself too, and I was also kind of busy starting new things, so I spent a couple months, for the for my new project. But that project doesn't mean the movie, Then
Right.
I'm thinking about, well, now I want to make another movie, maybe, but next time it's just a small non sunrise short film, maybe
Yeah.
just for like just for like a change a little bit. Then I start for the next summer movie. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Some sort of comedy or a romance movie or just something different.
Yeah,
Something different.
some drama, connected about Japan or Japanese culture. Mm,
Okay. Yeah, that
mm,
would work.
mm.
All right. Is there anything about this film that you would like to discuss that we have not covered?
No, we pretty much covered everything. Thank you very much for watching it.
Always.
Yeah. So
Always.
yeah, if you like to anybody who watch this show, just if you're looking for samurai movies, you know different kind of samurai movies, maybe please try that. Oh, by
Yeah.
the way, the people who taught us about sword fighting, the actual Koto sword fighting style,
Yes.
they were really happy about our choreography. You
They
know,
liked it. Yeah. Okay. That's
they
good.
they did love it. So they did love it. And we actually asked them how we should fight, and they said, there's one. Do you know NHK? NHK is
Uh, it's news, isn't it?
NHK is Japanese public TV station. It's the
Okay.
biggest TV. network. They made also another documentary about the Koto
Oh, okay.
a couple years ago, and we made, and they watched both, and they said mine's are better. Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
They also, they are actually like as a sensei of kendo, they have all
Right.
kids. They show my film and NHK's film, the documentary both. They say kids also loves my movie
Well,
because we have lots of sword fighting.
like I said before, we are you are touching on other points rather than just making it an action film.
Mhm.
It's about the character.
Yes,
And it's about more than being strong. Sometimes being strong is not a good thing.
Mhm.
So you have to learn to be flexible.
Mhm.
So pardon me. Go on and talk for a minute.
Okay, so you want me to talk? Hold on. Are you okay?
It's not easy. Yeah, no, I just had to blow my nose for a second. I'm fighting off this awful cold, man. It's terrible. I've had it for a week now. Ugh. So, yeah, I mean, I could see why you would want to take some rest. It's also starting to get cold out. So that's probably not conducive to wanting to do long periods of time outside for filming it. One final question. Excuse me. One final question. Talk about the editing process.
Oh, editing process.
Because that sounds like a nightmare.
You know what happened is when I last shooting was like July 28th. I think that was the last day of shooting. My film was already completed in August 7th. So my
Really?
editing process, yes.
Oh, you're just a wizard, man. You're just a wizard like Gandalf.
No, what's
Jeez.
happening? What's happening is because I'm shooting, with my camera. So
Right.
when I when when I shoot the scenes, I already have an idea about how to edit. I make some
Okay.
storyboard, and also
Okay.
when I shoot, so I kind of memorize everything. Okay, the second take was good, third take was good, and I got this one, I got this one. So when I shoot, shooting the videos, I already start editing in my brain. So when I come back
Okay.
right after the shooting day, I come back home and just put everything online, roughly on lines. So
Okay.
okay, it's now I got all things. So it's like the day I shoot, I already finished editing at the night. So
So yeah, okay.
that's
So
why
that
I
day
could
is
think.
already edited. Okay, but come
Yeah.
back the next day, it's a whole new thing.
Yes. And
Jeez. All
also,
right.
I shoot weekends, so which means that on a weekday I have the off. So then during in the next shooting, I can set the computer and just adjust a little bit, do the editing. So it's pretty much when I finish this film, it's almost it's moment that I finish editing as well. And also
Okay.
sometimes, like remember the scene that she was playing game, asking and
Yeah.
her friend to how to. That was extra. I added because when I shoot entire film, that was not even on the script. When I
That's
shoot,
important.
gee,
That's an important
yeah.
scene.
So when I should see the sequence, gee, this guy just keep upsetting. I need to put something to change her mind. So I add it. I add the
Yeah.
thing that's I could do it because I can see actually all the product and the sequence already. You know After the shooting days. So. And then in the
Yeah.
meantime, it's okay. I need to add this. I need to add this. I don't really add much, but sometimes I have to add. So that's what I do. So that's
I'm
why
glad that you. Yeah.
after the shooting days, the next week, it's all about the audio correction and the color correction and put the music, put some effects, title. That's it. So that takes like a week to do it. But entire editing it's already finished when I finish shooting.
Very impressive. Very impressive. And I'm glad you put that scene in there. I thought that was a very important scene because she needed to soften a little bit to her
Yes,
friends.
Yes,
These
yes,
people
yes.
were afraid that she was, insecure.
Mhm.
You understand why, but you gotta grow up.
Mhm.
All right. I think that this is as good a place as any to bring this to a close.
Mhm.
My thanks to Toshi Asaka.
Thank
Where can people find? Wait, well, let me just say right here: your movies, The Ronins, The Samurai, Koto, The Woman Samurai, are all available on Amazon Prime. $1.99 to rent. $1.99. It's very inexpensive. Spend the fucking $2. Support your independent filmmakers out there. I just buy them now at this point. It's $5.99. I'm a physical media guy. I don't do a lot of digital media, but I support Toshi-san and what he's doing, and I enjoy his films. So $5.99, you don't have too much physical media. That's $5.99. It's very inexpensive. Give the movies a try. They're award-winning films, and they deserve to be seen by as many people as possible. My thanks to you once again for
Thank you very
stopping
much.
by. Yeah, it's good to see you again. I know we talked about maybe meeting up at the end of this year, but this year has just been crazy. It's been like, whoosh. So 2024 just around the corner. It'd be nice for me to get back to Japan, and then hopefully we can all connect up. That would be a very good thing.
Yeah, yeah. In some moment, maybe I'd like to meet you in the States. Maybe when you have an opportunity to visit Japan, let me introduce some places. Maybe I can
Yeah,
tour you where I shot the video. That might be interesting.
yeah, that'd be great. I mean, like I said, I usually stay in Kashiwa.
Mhm.
So I usually stay in Kashiwa. It's not far away from Yokohama at all. So
No, no,
yeah,
no, 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 no. Mhm.
yeah. So we're right a couple train stops.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you again.
Okay.
I'm gonna DM you probably in a couple of weeks,
Mhm.
and we're gonna set up maybe around the 1st of January
Mhm.
or something. We'll pick
Okay. Yeah.
a samurai
Yeah.
film to review.
Mhm.
You and me.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, man. I'm gonna get out of here. My throat's giving out on me.
Okay.
Thank you again, Toshi
Thank you,
Asaka.
man. Thank
See
you
your
very
stuff
much
there.
inviting me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
always. And
Mhm.
we will see you all in the next video. Have a good one,
Okay.
everybody. Stick around for a second, man. Hold on.